Chicago mom Judith Renan said she and her daughter Natalie were still in their pajamas when terrorists burst into their home. They were zip-tied. They were marched into Gaza at gunpoint, where nurses at a hospital run by Hamas cheered the terrorists, bringing back what she described as Israeli Jewish prey. Visiting kibbutz Nahal Oz to celebrate her mother's 85th birthday, Renan said she heard the gunshots getting louder and closer and terrorists shouting in Arabic. After a rocket hit a bedroom, she tried to calm her daughter, who feared they would be raped and killed. She described their survival as like Russian roulette. On Tuesday, Secretary Blinken announced a new maritime strategy to flood Gaza with humanitarian aid. He doubled down on President Biden's #1 priority, telling Israel it must protect Gaza civilians as it fights to dismantle Hamas.
Israel has got the best record on civilian casualties of any war fought in the last 100 years, including when the United States and the UK and other Western forces got rid of ISIS. I don't know that anybody should be lecturing Israel on how to handle a war that we didn't want, that we didn't start.
The IDF has confirmed top Hamas terror commander Hadi Ali Mustafa is dead after an Israeli airstrike in Lebanon as tensions on Israel's northern border continue to escalate. Meantime, Florida Congressman Brian Mast introduced a bill to stop the Biden administration from spending taxpayer dollars to build a port in Gaza, which he says will allow humanitarian aid to reach Hamas. Also, South African relations with Israel have hit a new low. After accusing the Jewish state of genocide, the country's foreign minister announced Tuesday, get this, it will arrest citizens who serve in the Israeli Defense Forces, the Israeli army, upon their return to South Africa. Sean, Emma, back to you.
All right, Daniel, if you can, stay with us for a moment. We wanted to again, get your thoughts about this report here. Breaking news coming in from Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer.
That's right. He took to the floor in the Senate, calling on Israel to hold new elections, saying Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is an obstacle to peace. Watch this sound.
5 months into this conflict, it is clear that Israelis need to take stock of the situation and ask, must we change course? At this critical juncture, I believe a new election is the only way to allow for a healthy and open decision-making process about the future of Israel.
So, again, Daniel, this happened earlier in the broadcast today. How do you anticipate that's met with reaction by Israelis or perhaps even the Prime Minister?
Well, it's already been panned by the left and the right here in Israel. Chuck Schumer doesn't have the power to call for elections in Israel. In fact, Ambassador Michael Herzog, I'll just read what he said. Israel is a sovereign democracy. It is unhelpful, all the more as Israel is in a war against the genocidal terror organization Hamas, to comment on the domestic political scene of a democratic ally. It is counterproductive to our common goals. What would be productive, Senator Schumer, is to call for Hamas to lay down its weapons and surrender. This war could be over in days, if not hours, if they did two things. Hamas lay down its weapons and release the Israeli hostages. It's that simple. Sean and Emma.